that is it. Enough of landscapes. Now let's finish up the model and we render it. So now let's get this cutting plane, slide it in here, just Ctrl D, and we use this as elevation because obviously we want something to happen for our elevation. Before we edit that, let's just grab this thing here. Let's grab this thing here and offset it. Okay, let's offset this guy by just to have them at the periphery. So now let's go into the elevation, and we need a ramp sort of from the road that we have created and onto the parking space, because obviously the car is not going to jump into the parking space. So let's grab like a reference, something like a polyline. Let's use this up to there. Maybe it can go to what, 2 meters away. Can have a ramp all the way up to like 2 meters from the building. Just select the point that you want to move and change to the node. So let's use a morph for that. So morph, put it there, just drag and put it here. So we go in 3D, just come here and give this depth. And, yep, 3 meters away, and that's it. So we have dealt with that axis. Of course, we can change how it looks like. So we can decide that maybe this one should be a concrete floor. Concrete, maybe this time 0 to. Okay, next on the list is a step that we have here in here. So we want to move to have a duplicate of this. Just pick it and then we create. Of course, I have these things don't show. Weird. So 300 away, that's for the tread, and of course the riser. For us to change the riser, we can change it from here. Obviously we need it to be negative 150 from the top. So we also want to add this other section because it goes all the way around. So we do that 300 away. So when we go in 3D, this is what I'm talking about. So you have that kind of step. And then another thing that we can add here, just to connect this to this soil, we can put a planter in there, like this idea here, where plants can grow. Just pick that slab and we use it all the way up to the 2 meters. Once you're happy there, we can make a copy of this, give it a thickness, maybe what a wall would be like 100. Just subtract this inner portion, and maybe this inner thing should be smaller, so I've picked the one which is negative 150, and maybe it should also be soil as opposed to concrete, because you want to put plants in there. Where is soil? There you are. So essentially this is what I mean. So maybe it's too deep. You can go ahead and increase the height of it by selecting this thing, maybe somewhere just below that level. Add some lighting primitives to this thing, because with twinmotion we want to be able to put in some surfaces and make them glow and appear as light sources. If you look at this reference, we don't really need these things to be detailed. All we need are just primitives like a cube or something, such that when we apply a glow to it, it will appear as though it's a source of light that is detailed. I don't know if you get it, but that's what we are going to do right now. So we need like that strip of light. So let's go here and just do that. So we can grab this slab. Let's grab this one. And how big do you need it to be? Just too small, maybe 25. So we add also a portion going this other side, 25. And that's how high maybe you want it to be. So small, 25. And then its height, let's go into the settings so we can manipulate this better. So let's make it start on top of the first step, which first step is at negative 150. So let's say okay. And of course, one more thing you want to tweak is how it looks like. First of all, we can make it glass because it's going to be an LED. And then we say glass, where I choose one of these. Of course, we want a glass that we have not used any other place, because when we go in twinmotion, it is going to recognize it as the other glass, and it will have the same material with this one. So we want to choose something different, like glass lamp, which we haven't used before. So we say okay, and then we go to 3D to show you what I have been doing. And that is it. So we have that street lighting, which is good, really, when you light that up in the night. Very impressive. So let's go ahead and add those lights that you're seeing there. And by that, this is not to say that Archicad doesn't have specific lights that you can add, but I just want it to be simple. We are just using primitives, just a simple cube, and we can make it glow. So we need to do that. So how are we going to do that? So those are about 5 lights from the middle of that column to somewhere there. So let's put a reference for that and add those cubes. So go ahead and get from the document, let's get like a line from midway here. Let's get this out of the way. So let's draw that reference line. So grab the line, go ahead, draw from here up to right there. And once you have that done, and by the way, I think we could do this. We could just take this here and bring it back, and that's the reference line we need. Of course, these lights should be, ideally, should be placed on the first floor. Let's copy that reference line onto the first floor. Do we even have to copy that, or we can just reference this on the ground floor or below current floor, so we do not have it interrupting? So go to the slabs. Let's just pick this slab by there. Just pick that, go ahead and draw. Make sure you have something believable, something like what the maximum of it would be, like 100 by 100. Of course, I mean recessed lights, something quite small. So pick whichever you want it to be. So let's position that. So the first light is right about there, and then of course we need about 5 lights. So you need to come here and set divisions, snap divisions into 4, because you already have this 1 point, so set the snap division into 4. So when you do that, when you hover over this line, it should be about the 4 divisions, such that you can have the first light there, and of course you want to copy from the center line to have the second light, to have the third light, the fourth and fifth. So those are our lights. Group them, and of course we want to position them into some place that is good, some in between here, maybe 300, or you need them a bit off the wall, so let's remove 100 for the wall. Okay, so just 50. Okay, just look at what you have done in 3D before you can make some good decisions. Of course, they're not gonna show up because we used the wrong slab, which is in a different place. So for us to edit them well, let's get an elevation, this existing elevation we have, and move it by Ctrl D to the place where we can be able to edit this. Just cut through them. So go right click and open with current view settings. Come in here, and yeah, this is how it looks like. But then we can Alt G to be able to see what we're doing. Of course, from 0, from this roof, you want it the light to be about 25, just to reveal. And of course, this is too high, I think, for the height of this. It's a recessed light, so it's probably about there, and that is pretty much it. So in 3D, this is what you have, and of course, this thing should also have the same material as we did previously. So we grab it for glass, and then we also make the glass a lamp. And that's what you have as your primitives that are going to emit light. You want to do the same thing for these things right here. So we want to do the same thing for the lights above here and the lights around the house. So let me go ahead and speed that up for you. And if you want to see something beneath, if you want to use something beneath as reference, so you can again uncheck the cover fill, so that now you can see what's happening under there and make the decisions to place this stuff. Okay, so this is pretty much done. Of course, we cannot have that light there. One more thing is we don't have this balcony here, so we can go ahead. Railings tool. So in this one we might want to do away with some of this stuff. Just click minus. Maybe we don't need this style. We can decide to put a panel instead, a glass panel. And obviously I don't want mine to have, it's a preference though, I don't mind to have some fixing. And then also I can reduce this stuff such that it feels as though it's embedded into these reference stuff. Maybe we need like a 10 here and a 10 there. Yeah, 10 for the dimension. Yeah, you get it. And the top railing, so for the top railing it could be circular, yeah, but maybe this is a bit small. It's something bigger to fit in the hand. And then this one can be that small, which is okay. And then this should be, I think I don't like that. I think I'll take this kind of, to allow the panel to be fit inside there. And I think that is should work for this kind of example. We say okay, so let's place in the railing. So draw there, right there, and right there. Double click, and we're done. Go into 3D and see how that looks like. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah, that should be able to work. So one more thing that is going to make a difference in this kind of design is that we need a ridge on the roof, and for that we need to use this ridges tool. We need to go to objects tool, type in ridge, and there you have it, the ridge tile. And then how do we place it in? Just go ahead and place it somewhere there. Just place it in here, rotate, and of course we can position it using the north elevation. I want to see what that looks like. So by default we have some weird stuff going here, so just go ahead and position it roughly, and then also grab this, just click onto that guide and take it down. Of course, the first thing that you want to do is have this point touching there, sort of, so you can go in 3D in elevation and go ahead and have that well placed. So join me in the next one, which shall be for final touches and then exporting to Twinmotion to do the final render.